Joshua Fisher, Alexander DeSopos of the Charity Stripe, the Believe Network, Portland Trail Blazers. We're covering this one right here. The pick is Shaedon Sharpe, kind of out of Kentucky. We'll just say out of Kentucky because he technically went there, but didn't play for him. This is they said it on ESPN. This is the mystery man of the draft. It's interesting because I think this is a guy that we feel can, based off his talent, be one of the top players out of this class. I think he's young. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. He reclassified into this class, and I think that I'm just confused on the timeline.
I am too.
Blazers.
I'm confused as far as fit with this team and what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Because they just went and got Jeremy Grant. They still have Dame, but Dame's 32, 33.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more years he has left, right? So with that logic, Shaedon Sharpe looks to be a guy that is more of a quote unquote project than some of the other guys that were more surefire. You can slot him in, whether that meant that they were slotting in to be an offensive contributor or a defensive contributor, like a guy that got picked at 10,
Johnny Davis.
Johnny Davis, or 9, right? Sohan to the Spurs. That's what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to go for some more wing depth or go for a big, right? Or trade out of this spot. A lot of the rumors were OG Anunoby from the Raptors for the 7th pick, a little swap right there. So I'm puzzled. I'm puzzled by this, especially because you have Anthony Simons, who he's a restricted free agent. They're likely going to bring him back to be their starting 2 guard, kind of take over that CJ McCollum slot. He had an impressive, year last year. He increased his points per game by a wide margin. So I'm right there with you. It's a confusing pick, but tons of upside. And, he could make all of us look foolish. He's that type of guy.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a talent thing. I think maybe you answer my question. Like Dame is on the wrong side of 30, not coming off his worst year injuries. That he's coming off a down year. Maybe it's a situation where they go, okay, we bring in Grant, we bring in Nurkic, we have Simons, who's really developed nicely. Maybe they feel that this is their last. They have Josh Hart. They feel this is like their last quote unquote go around with this iteration of, the Blazers. And if it doesn't work out with Dame, Nurkic, and Grant, then they're going to go, okay, Sharpe's the guy of the future, one of the guys of the future. And they have that built in for the future already. And that's the reason they took him. But that's the only, it really just doesn't fit their timeline. Nothing against the player. Maybe Mathurin was the pick. Maybe he was the guy because it's more in the timeline.
He was gone. He's
gone. Yeah. So
he went.
I don't know.
6,
I think. So. Yeah, I think Sharpe can be a stud. He can score. He's uber athletic. But we just we don't have enough. We don't have any tape from him from college to see against these guys. Whereas we have that's the case for everybody. We either have international tape, or we have G League tape or college tape, but not as much for him. But I think that he could be a really strong player. I think Portland does a pretty solid job of developing their guys. I mean, if you go around, they develop Simons. They were a great home for Dame. We're a great home for McCollum. You could date Wes Matthews. You could date it back. So I think they do. They're a franchise that develops well. So I think it's
develops well and drafts well. As far as gold prospectors go, they're at the top of the list there, and it's no surprise they're on the West Coast, maybe a little further north than most of the gold mining, but they certainly seem to know what they've been doing in past. So we'll hope they still know what they're doing, and maybe Shaedon Sharpe's one of the guys that we're talking about here in 3 to 4 years.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's the Blazers pick. Shaedon Sharpe out of Kentucky. We'll see you in a few.